Hello and welcome back to Touhoumon World of Improvised. In the last part I went through confusing cave hell, that was the magma hideout, until I reached Maxi, who revised a slightly bigger and more powerful Utsuho, who immediately left, and then I fought Maxi, and then now I'm here because Archie stole a ship, and now I'm in the hideout to go find this ship, and this place is warp panel hell, and I'm stuck here for the rest of my life, so let's just continue it. Warp panels, the hideout's pride and joy. You're clueless about where you are, aren't you? Bluster and tire out the enemy, then lower the boom. Lower the boom. That's our plan. When I joined Team Aqua, first thing I had to learn was how these warp panels connected. Right, that's one thing about this game's plot. This is a bit, like, confusing. In Ruby and Sapphire, when the team leader awakens the mascot legendary, and aren't able to control it, things go to shit, like, immediately. As you would expect them to. But in this game, it's like, yep, he just awoke Groudon, and he's just not doing anything right now, because now we're dealing with Archie. Even though Groudon's already out and about. Presumably, because in Ruby, when Groudon awoken, he immediately went, fuck everything, we're gonna scorch the earth, and then everyone was, like, dying of superheat. And then they play that awful theme. Oh, the theme that plays in Ruby when Groudon comes out. Oh, it's scary. No, it's awful. It's awful music. Ugh. Yeah, that happens. Where this game, it's like, yep, Maxi just awoke Groudon, and he's not doing anything right now. I think once you awake Groudon, or once you awake Kyogre, that's when Groudon and Kyogre start going at it. But it's like, what was Groudon doing before then? Did Groudon know that Kyogre was about to be awoken, so he's just sitting there waiting? I don't know. What's wrong with you? You're not tired at all. I was too occupied thinking about the warp panels. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Let's get the one who's actually super effective against things in the limelight here. Never mind. Flapjack's level 47. Kuzei's also actually level 47. Sorry about that. I put the item on you, right? Yeah, you have the priestess outfit. You are now imagining Aki and Reimu's clothes. Not that uncommon. Huh? He got here already, did you? Underestimated you, but this is it. I'm a cut above the grunts. Did I get to the right place immediately on complete accident? I'm not stalling for time, I'm going to pull right. You're mad, aren't you? You fucking kid! I went the exact correct way on complete accident on my first try. Matt also has red hair, orange hair. I'm just now noticing that. You can barely see it back there. Are you related to Shelly? I'm pretty sure they would mention it if you are, so I don't think you are. You just look really similar, don't you? Okay, hopefully I can go back, because again, Master Ball, I kind of want that thing. Great, I'm not going to do much damage here. Hopefully you're fine either way, and you'll still die in 2 hits. Nope. Oh, and you have Crunch, right, this is really bad. Yeah, now you can two-shot me because of that. Okay. Time to punch you. The super potion already, huh? Odd choice. Yeah, I've been quite ahead of levels with all the NPCs for quite a while now. I wonder how long it's gonna stay that way. Was I a higher level than Maxi? I'm pretty sure I was, but I don't remember by how much. Surely Remilia dies to Thunderbolt, right? That would just be logical to assume she would do that. Actually, this is gonna be a really weird part, because assuming they allow me to go back, this is gonna be starting out going the right way, and then just kind of backtracking to try to find a Master Ball. It's here somewhere. Am I going to use a Master Ball on? I don't know. Probably on something annoying to catch. Because normally you save your Master Ball in case you find a shiny or something, because that happens. But I can save state, so like if I find a shiny, I can just do that. Luna is pretty good, besides the fact, if you ignore the fact that she is made out of toilet paper and dies in like 2 hits from things. But what do you expect? She is a fairy. I wonder when you can start using the fairies in Fantasy Mode Doors. I don't remember. It's at some point in Mystic, I think. Hee hee, so I lost too. Hee hee, while I was toying with you, our boss got through his preparations. Bye. Hee hee, our boss has already gone on his way to some cave under the sea. If you're going to give chase, you'd better search the big wide sea beyond Lily Cove. But will you find it then? Hee hee. Yeah. Alright, so I just completed the plot of this by complete accident by going the correct way the first time. How many times have I been lost in Warp Panel Hell? And then I just so happened to go the right way this time? Are you guys even gonna fight me? This is back where I just was, right? So what if I go like the other way? Right, it's somewhere around here, I think? Have I already been here? You know, they may have just made the whole place a lot smaller. Because this isn't like... There are now multiple hide... Yes, it's somewhere around here. It's this area right here. This fucking item box somewhere. Somewhere! Wrong. This one? This one? No! God damn it. Alright, if I get this Master Ball, I'm just leaving. Because, like, I'm not just gonna get stuck in hell forever just to, like, find some Aqua Grunts I didn't talk to. Alright, you're not the one. Nitori! Inatori, even. Alright, we're level 48, so I no longer have to have you in the front. Is it? Nope. You faster than this thing? Good. That's not a Master Ball. That's not a Master Ball either. Where's the Master Ball? This is, where it's supposed to be. They, move it? Why'd they do that? They changed it to where I'm gonna get it in a mandatory cutscene now? It's really they didn't, just take the Master Ball out of the game so where I can no longer have a Master Ball. No, they wouldn't do that. No, it'd be crazy talk. Anyway, get me out of here. Yeah, I think this whole hideout in general is just like a lot smaller. There's a nest orb. Cool. I went this way earlier, didn't I? Have I explored everything? Is this the entire place? They made it way smaller. Alright, so, I'm just gonna assume I found everything of worth here and get a Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. 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 Can't escape rope out of, Can't escape rope out of here. Okay, good, this is where you leave anyway, okay. Well, that was not nearly as painful as I was expecting it to be. Didn't get a Master Ball, though. What a bummer that is. But hey, at least we're done with all that. And now it's time for everyone's favorite part of Pokemon, water routes. A lot of them. It's actually really good because now that I know that I don't actually have to have the moves on Marasa in order to do stuff. She's not going to get. She's actually going to have a moveset and isn't going to be stuck with Surf and Dive, which are both. Surf is useless because of her terrible special attack stat, and Dive is a useless move. And I'm glad I don't have to worry about them. Because as long as she can learn it, she can keep it. Did I have my phone in the bathroom again? I did. Okay, give me a second. Very forgetful I am, yes. Don't want to leave the phone in there though, because what if I get like an important call or something? I mean, that's happened before when I've recorded. I had to stop. Alright, here's still the lowest level. Yes, I should probably... I need to buy more super repels, but like, where do you buy that? In the newly cold department store? Please come back tomorrow. What a weirdly specific thing to say. Because normally you just say, please come again. Please come back soon, but please come again tomorrow. That is so oddly specific. Okay, 18 of those, sure. 6 of those. Great. About 37 of those, because I'm gonna be on the waves for a very long time. Riding along on my 3-foot-tall ship captain. Doodle-doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Hope you like Notori's theme. I hear it for a very long time. Again, Lily Cove is very confusing. Where do I go to just go down a ledge? I don't know, it can't... Why is it like this? You could have just made a big old beach to where I could get on there at any point, but no, it needs to be filled with... You gotta go down ledges, and the places you could go don't actually fully lead there. Alright. It is time for 7.8 Too Much Water. Do you like swimmers? Because we're about to have a lot of swimmers. I thought that would be a double battle, but then she kind of looked the other way. Here I am swimming by my lonesome on this wide, beautiful sea. There's no other word for it. This is pathetic. Yeah, I'd rather we do more double battles, because a single double battle probably takes a less amount of time than 2 normal battles. Although if you only have 1 Pokemon, it doesn't really matter all that much, does it? Man, Achy, I was hoping you'd one-shot it, and then you didn't. Like, that's a cool sprite, and the fact that she's like 3 feet tall, it just kind of ruins it, doesn't it? I don't know. I think some of the puppet dance performers try to strike like a cool pose, but like the chibi art style and the fact that they're a foot tall kind of made it a bit hard to not laugh at. You know, speaking of which, not this. Doing this first. Giving you a super potion. Speaking of that, I haven't checked your dex entry. Wherever you are. Where have you gone? Totally miss the honesty and special thanks. Where are you? I have no idea what this... Is it games-based? It seems to be, for like a bit. Maybe it is. Yeah, because it's 11. So you should be around here somewhere, with 9. Yeah, Ieki. Her judgments are fair and without earthly bias, regardless of being a human or a yokai. She's 0.5 meters. Oh, she's less than 3 feet tall. Like, let me check again. How short is that? Meter to feet. 0.5. 1.64 feet. You are less than 2 feet tall? It's just so bizarre. I'm growing bored of swimming. How about a battle? I don't know, it fits fine in Puppet Dance Performance, but when you have a game like this where you're literally just taking the Pokemon out and putting the puppets in, it's like, yeah, Pokemon are normally, like, there are a lot of Pokemon that are that short, but not your fully evolved team. When you think of a trainer with their fully evolved team of Pokemon, you're usually thinking, yep, they got a Charizard here, they got like a Gardevoir or something, and they got like a giant-ass dragon. But this is like, yep, my fully evolved team of 2-foot-tall gremlins. Look at them. It also doesn't help, like, I don't know. In the puppet game, you know, the puppets were new. They were kind of just being used as like a substitute for like spell card duels or whatever. So they weren't like necessarily that like serious, I guess. But in Pokemon are kind of like the main part of the world, and now they've just been replaced with a bunch of like small little puppets. Like Pokemon, you know, these Pokemon, they do all the things. They do construction work. They do all this stuff, and the puppets presumably are doing the same thing. Very weird. Is this a double battle? Here I am in the sea, but who's with me? My little brother. Let's battle so I won't have to dwell on that. Alright, so here I am on the waves, yet again. Gonna be doing this for the next couple parts now. So maybe try to find some things to talk about, because there's not going to be much exciting happenings in the game. It's going to be this for a while. Going through these water routes. I don't even have dive yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna have dive for a while, because here's the thing. Roy, it's your fault we lost. You're in for it later. His name's Roy and he has red hair. Like Roy, Fire Emblem, everyone's favorite lord. Will you battle with us again, but take it easy next time? Right, there was another trainer somewhere over here. I think? I guess not? Oh, it's so hard to not miss something in these giant routes, isn't it? You just gotta go back and forth. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can, like, explore a bunch of the water routes even before beating Tate and Liza. You just can't dive, so I might do that. Just, like, get the overworld exploring done with, and then once I get dive, we'll deal with that when we get there. Look at all these dive spots. There's like a bird trainer over here. Is that what your class is? What you look like? Hey, are you lost at sea? If you can beat my Bonica, I can serve as your pilot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the battle sprites for all the trainer classes are different compared to Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I think some of the overworld sprites are the same. Like, I think this is the same overworld sprite for the bird catcher and Fire Red. Don't entirely remember though. So yeah, I guess things to talk about. I have started, kind of figured out what I wanted to do for jam games for a bit. So I'll record like a game or two before I start a recording session of this or Fantasy Maiden Wars. I lost my bearings in battle. And that'll just be the thing, I guess, until I don't know, change my mind. I'm very accustomed to just changing my mind randomly. You know, it's not like the list is ever going to be finished anytime, ever, actually, so I guess this will be the way it is from now on, unless I change my mind. I'm doing games from Jam 16 for now, because, I don't know, that's new. Do that for a bit, before I move on to the random selected ones. If you just float in the sea like this, Bonica could come around to play. I probably need to use a different randomizer, because the randomizer I used had a problem where it would just refuse to choose, like, the last, like 30 or so games. For, like, my last part of finishing the list, like 90% of it was just doing the last part, because random refused to pick any of them ever. So I should probably use a different random number generator that doesn't have this problem. Oh darn, I've gone and lost. It's only on a whim, but maybe I'll get you to register me on IdolNav. If I actually go back and like close to final part and go through every single character's number, how long that would take. Definitely take longer than the reading every Pokedex entry. What? Huh? What? Is this the only way you can go up here? What? No, you can just go this way. What is the point of that? Okay, there's just this little rock formation with nothing else there. It's not like it's a dive spot or anything. The sea, it just keeps going. Have I fought you yet? That's the trick house. Yeah, that's a thing, right? Isn't that trick house supposed to be on that route? But it wasn't there. There's a dive spot over here. I'm just going up columns to try to not miss anything. This is how I normally play these games. Sorry if it's a bit weird. Right, there's this side quest. There's that guy in that house over there, but I'm pretty sure he does. Boo-boo, I dive deep underwater to go undercover. Plumbing the depths is where I excel. Yeah, there's like a side quest where that guy will like give you... You have to find a bunch of shards you can only find by like diving in areas and going up in secret areas. And you get a bunch of shards, and what those shards do is that they are like the only way you can get certain evolution stones in this game. That's not the case for this hack, because you can just buy them at the Woolly Cove store, so I wonder if they replace it with something else. But yeah, it's really dumb. The way evolution stones work in general in this series is really dumb sometimes, where it's like in some games, if it's an evolution stone, it doesn't matter, you can just find them anywhere. You normally buy them, and if not, they're normally not that hard to find, and you just gotta wait until the unevolved form learns the moves you want, and then you can use them. And then in some games it's like this, where it's like I'm pretty sure you're stuck with Lombre. That's the middle evolution of Kappa. It takes forever when you get Ludicolo. It's just like one of my favorite Pokemon, because you have to go this stupid side quest just to get like a leaf stone or whatever. Man, Aki's front-facing sprite is just so much better than the rest of the team, isn't it? You can actually like see most of her face, whereas like Ron, you can't. You just like see her hat. All right, moving on to Ed. Can actually do things. All right, then you go back down here. Where is this? Does this lead to another route? You're riding a Monica instead of swimming yourself. I am envious. I'm not going to lose to some surfer trainer. Swimmer Roland and triathlete Isabella. Is the swimmer class... The swimmer class is different from the triathlete class, but the triathlete class normally looks like swimmers anyway, except... Doesn't the triathlete class have a completely different sprite, where they're like... running or something? I don't know. Yeah, I guess the thing about me playing the Jam games right now, like Jam 16, is that Jam came out like really recently. I think the first upload I did of it was only like a couple days after it came out, so I don't know how many people have made videos about any of the games yet, but I was actually pretty early on being one to make some. I don't know how many I'll make before I'll just go back to picking random again. Who knows? Oh, I can't. I've only got sweat in my eyes, I'm not crying. Yeah, with how behind this... We're already on Route 126. What does the map look like? Very confusing, because you have this here, and you got Moss Deep. It's just, look at all the water, it's so confusing. trying to catch every single, like, inch of water and not missing something. Alright, this house. Hunter's house. I'm the diving treasure hunter. I'm the awesome dude who makes deep sea dives to gather treasures, resting at the bottom. You haven't got any treasures for me. If you see any shards like the red shard, you've got to trade it with me. Okay, so this plotline is still the exact same? No, he just gives you useless items that you can just buy at the store. Yep. You're not worth my time, buddy. Didn't change that side quest at all, huh? I don't know, with how behind this, how ahead I am with making these videos compared to uploading them, I'll probably have moved on to going back to picking games randomly by the time this gets uploaded. It's just gonna be a while from now. Alright, this is Moss Deep. What is this? Don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. I was waiting for like to make a drop or something and move on to something, but it just kind of seems to be meandering a bit. Alright, I'll explore Moss Deep in a bit, but there's like this route over here. There is way more to the north of Moss Deep than I expected there to be. Okay, that's secret base crap, who cares? Hey there, check out my sweet Bonica. Swimmer Stan! Jason. I haven't paid attention to South Park in like many years, but apparently they finally got Randy and his family off that fucking farm. And people were relieved about that. Again, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to that. I haven't paid attention to many things. It's a simple life. You don't pay attention to things, you live in utter bliss. Not really. You should be aware of the things that are important for you, but you don't want to be too invested in the things that don't ultimately matter, because then you're giving yourself undue stress. Like when you don't do a double battle, because this fucking guy moved at the last second. Hey, was it you throwing garbage into the sea? Do 2 battles here. Suika. Yeah, that was a thing I said when I was doing that Naruto game earlier. That game was about a bunch of random facts, and I kind of just like said some shit a couple times. And I think one of the questions is like, who had a very inconsistent hair color? And it was Suika, because she was blonde in 19, because Zun did that for some reason. And I think I said something like, yeah, it was awful, but then again, Suika's been pretty awful for a while now. And that was a bit of a shitter comment, but it's not one I'm... It's built in truth. Suika is, kind of an annoying shithead. Like not in an endearing way, just annoying and like, fucking go away. And Proto I remember in Lotus Eaters. She's like... I really wish she just wasn't there. Kind of felt the same way about Aya. I think that's ultimately the good reason, that's the main reason why I'm not reading Lotus Eaters again anymore. That and the fact that, like, I fucking hate reading things periodically, and I'd rather read them when they're done, but Lotus Eaters is never gonna finish, so there's no point in trying. Some of Zun's character writing is really unlikable. Like, Suiga and Aya, I want them to go away every time they show up in that series. This is probably a good reason why I just stopped reading it, because every time a character shows up, I like them less, so why would I keep reading it? I don't know, Marissa seemed to be pretty tolerable for the most part in that series, and she seems to be the one who gets the most spotlight a lot of the time anyway, so... You know, maybe if I just read the parts with her, I'd be fine. But... no. Alright, so I don't think there'll be that much of this. How much is left here? I kind of just want to finish this up, and then I'll explore Moss Deep next part. And then continue going through the waves. It's 1 o'clock. How much time do I have left? You're too much. Should have time for like 2 more parts, maybe. Is this the second part, I think? Right, this is the second part I've recorded today, I think. Because the first part was me dealing with magma, and this has been Aqua, and this is still Aqua. I gotta remember this is still the Aqua part, because that went by way quicker than I was expecting it to. So I'm still doing the Team Aqua stuff. Where is that cave? It's supposed to be around here, no? Can you come here? I love trainers that act like this, I love it. How would you like to take on the water type Onika I raised? You're a swimmer with water types? I guess that's one thing I never really thought about that's kind of interesting about Puppet Dance, is that how many of the trainers in that game actually like specified, like were specialized in like a specific type or type of like characters or something. Was that even a thing? Because it's like a thing all the time in Pokemon. You've got different trainer classes that specialize in different like things. You got the swimmers and the Hex Maniacs and all that stuff. They got specific types. When Puppet Dance Performance, like they had a bunch of different trainer classes, but I don't know if those trainer classes actually had anything to do with what they used. I think the Kappas used a lot of Notoris. The Kappas definitely used a lot of Notoris, but other than that, I don't know. Why is there so much? Where am I? Is this still to the north of Moss Deep? It is. Moss Deep's right here. There's all this stuff over here. Alright, 45-minute part, because I want to finish this up. Ahoy, I'm a buff, tough sailor, and I've braved the world seas. Apparently this is going to take longer than I thought. What else did I say in that video? Right, Mizuchi, she's Andrew now because she's the evil spirit. She's the vengeful spirit, yes. And she's in the games. Or apparently what's going on in the manga now is now there's like another vengeful spirit or something. It's totally gonna be Mima this time or something. So maybe that vengeful spirit will be Andrew, and then Mizuchi is Cassidy, right? God, I have so much FNAF brain rot. Not my fault. FNAF is actually... Okay, well you can debate like the actual quality of the games and stuff, but FNAF has actually been in a pretty decent place recently when it comes to like content being made. Like, there's a lot of people who make FNAF stuff that I like watch their stuff now. It's been pretty good. It's interesting stuff to watch with the Freddy game. Okay, there's like a trainer over there, right? Is there anything over here? Doesn't appear to be. There's nothing over here. There's like a singular trainer over here going back and forth. Deal with you. I heard you approaching, so I hung around for you. Did you? Looks to me like you were just kind of going back and forth aimlessly. I get it, you know. Used to do that a lot. Pace back and forth to get my thoughts. It'd be something like that, but you're in the water. You part ghost type, Komachi? No. You're dead anyway. Because I'm 14 levels higher than you. Because this level gap is ridiculous. Remember when I was like getting my ass kicked by bosses like near the beginning of this game, and then that hasn't happened since because I've been over-leveled the whole time, and now I have a full team. Like, this seems drastic even by Pokemon standards. I swear, you're not this over-leveled, especially when you have a team of 6. We're just kind of kicking everyone's ass here. Kim, can you tell me what we're looking for out there? You have the same name as a champion of a future game. And one of the main protagonists of, like, Gen 5, I think? Sure, no one like. Because that was the thing with the anime, is that for the first couple seasons, Ash just hung out with Brock and Misty. And then they were like, no, we gotta change it up, so Brock was replaced with, like, someone else? Some other fucking guy. Then I think Brock came back, and then at some point both of them got replaced. With, May and her brother. Because that was a thing they did at some points, where they were like, they'd have Ash replace the male protagonist, and then they'd have the female protagonist be their own character who'd hang around with Ash. They did that for some games and didn't for others. They did that for... Oh, hey, we came sort of close. They did that for Gen 3, where May was a character who hung out with Ash. They did that with Diamond and Pearl, where Dawn was a character who hung out with Ash. But they didn't do that for Gen 5. Gen 5 just... I think, didn't Brock come back for Gen 4 too? He was just back again. Yeah, that was where Krogunk, I think was a Gen 4 Pokemon, he just kept stabbing him in the gut every time he tried to ask someone out. In Gen 5, the protagonist didn't exist at all. So they had, like, Silent replace Brock, and they had Iris replace Misty. Or I guess Dawn by that point. I guess I'm exploring this. Are you planning on going deep in there? How about bringing me back some Shoal Salt and Shoal Cells? I can make you something good if you bring me the ingredients. Is that item even good? Don't remember what it is. I might as well do the surfing part now because there might be lower tide later. Although the clock's not working, right? So is this even gonna change? I know that's a thing in Emerald is in the Gen 3 games is once your clock stops working, this whatever Shoal Cave was at last time is what it's stuck at forever. Quite a creepy theme for what is just a cave. Collect this stuff. Shoal shells. I collect the shoal shells in the Shoal Cave. And then Gen 6, they had Serena, and then the male protagonist was Ash, replaced by Ash again. But they also had the, like, electric-type gym leader, and they gave him a sister or something? Don't know. I haven't watched these shows. I'm just, from what I vaguely remember, my knowledge of the Pokemon anime is just what I watched of Gen 4 when it was on TV. And I don't even know what's happened to Sun and Moon. They, like, aged Ash down or something, except they didn't, because he's always 10. He's always been 10. He always will be 10. Except for, like, he might have not be 10 anymore. I actually don't know. Yeah, they did that in Gen 7, and then... I'll be honest, I know nothing about Gen 8. But in Gen 9, apparently, there's just... because it's a completely new protagonist. They had like a whole thing where they had send-off episodes for Ash, and Ash is no longer the protagonist of Pokemon, it's someone else. They started that with Gen 9, so I don't know what they did for Gen 8. I think they had like another, like, dude who was like the secondary. He was like him and Ash were the main characters of that season or something. I don't know. I have no idea how Pokemon, the TV show, handles seasons. So they definitely have way more than one season per game. I do have to wonder how communication between like the anime department and the games department has to go with, like, look, where they have to be like, look, we're gonna make this game at this point, so you need to wrap up all these storylines and have Ash ready to go to the next thing by this point in time, because you don't want the anime to be behind the game, because it's advertisement. You know? I imagine it's very interesting how all that stuff works out. Anyway, 40 minutes now. Go to the Pokemon Center and then explore all this place later and not actually deal with the gym leader until I have to. Our slogan, Cherish Bonica. Depending on the special abilities of Bonica, some moves might change or not work at all. The gym leaders in this town are a formidable duo. Their combination attacks are like excellent and wow. Peyton lies a double battle. Only double battle gym leaders in the series, I believe. Alright, 40-minute part. Next part I'll explore Moss Deep and then do some more surfing. Bye.